Calgary keeps its climate emergency declaration.
I think the declaration serves no purpose and it should be eliminated.
But expect to hear more as the civic election nears. Several employers and workers at odds across Alberta.
Very focused on getting a fair contract.
The potential impacts of the labor disputes. Plus, pets on the loose, but not by accident.
Never humanize your pet, instead animalize yourself.
The story behind these cockatoos in a Calgary park.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Alicia Fieldburn.
Good afternoon. Calgary's climate emergency is here to stay, at least for now. A vote to rescind the declaration failed, with one of the councillors co-sponsoring the effort voting it down. Jordan Canagan has more from City Hall. Jordan, it's been a contentious topic for years.
Alicia, it really has. Declaring a formal climate emergency here in Calgary was actually one of the first things this council voted in favor of doing 4 years ago, and an effort to get rid of it failed today in what is one of the final council meetings of this term. Now, what was voted down was a motion seeking to end the declaration and also audit all of the city's climate-related spending. 4 councillors who were part of Communities First put forth the motion: Sonia Sharp, Andre Chabot, Dan McLean, and Terry Wong. But Councillor Wong voted against rescinding the climate emergency. Now, officials say the city has spent about $200 million on climate projects and programs, but it's also received $287 million in funding from the federal and provincial governments for climate mitigation work.
And I can tell you that the folks who have been impacted by floods over time, by folks that are still reeling from hail damage, all that we went through with trees during Snowtember, all of those people are incredibly encouraged right now to know that this council is taking care of them.
I think the declaration serves no purpose and it should be eliminated. The work moving forward in making sure that we are putting money towards good climate practices within our scope of municipal government should continue.
Now, some members of council called today's debate political grandstanding, with less than a week to go before that official election period. While this council has voted to keep this climate emergency in place, it is likely to be called into question again and again on the campaign trail, and most likely again by this next iteration of council after October's votes. Alicia?
Thanks, Jordan. Canada's defense minister says there's no further safety risk following Monday's bomb threats targeting German flights to Calgary. NORAD scrambled fighter jets to escort 3 incoming German passenger planes. The aircraft were cleared to land once the threats were deemed not credible. The North American Aerospace Defense Command tells CTV News out of an abundance of caution, it deployed a Canadian CF-18 and an American CF-15 fighter jet, along with a refueling aircraft on Monday afternoon. Calgary police are investigating. At this point, they have not laid charges against a suspect. Calgary police are also investigating a shooting in the Northeast. They responded to Red Embers Way around 4 this morning after reports of a shot being fired into a nearby business. Officers say no one was injured. Sobeys has locked out the union in charge of distribution in the Calgary area, and shoppers could see grocery shortages on shelves starting tomorrow. Yesterday, workers at the Balzac Distribution Centre were served a 72-hour lockout notice. The union said to protect its members, it gave strike notice to Sobeys. Teamsters Local 987 voted in favor of strike action last week. They want more competitive wages and other changes to their collective agreement. The lockout could impact grocers and convenience stores throughout central and southern Alberta. This is just one of several labor disputes underway in the province. And Jacqueline Wilson joins us with more on the worker unrest. Jackie, it's putting pressure on the provincial government.
Yes, it certainly is, because there are, Alicia, several labor disputes happening in our province right now. So one is with teachers, the other is with healthcare workers, and some of those healthcare workers rallied outside of the Peter Lougheed Hospital today, along with the union that represents them. Now, the union tells us that formal mediation begins next week. They are trying to bargain for a new collective agreement. Those who were at the rally today say it's really a critical time for the 15,000 nursing care and for support workers that are employed by Alberta Health Services. Workers want to improve wages and benefits along with safe staffing levels and manageable workloads.
Our membership is very strong, very focused on getting a fair contract that respects the wages that our members need to see to actually live in this province and work in this province.
And actually, the other labor dispute the province is dealing with, of course, I mentioned, is teachers. So yesterday, the province filed a labor relations complaint. That was actually in connection with a document that the ATA distributed. They say that it consists of some false claims. Now, the ATA has since fired back, saying that's an attempt to put off and to sabotage some of the negotiations that are going on right now. The Alberta Teachers Union has set a strike date of October 6th, but I should mention that the province does have the ability to lock teachers out before then. Alicia?
Thanks, Jackie. Work is underway at the site of a new Catholic high school in West Calgary.
Our schools in the Calgary Catholic School District are bursting at the seams, and this school is really needed.
Heavy equipment is clearing the land in Aspen Woods. A ground blessing and sod turning ceremony was held there this afternoon. The new school will have more than 1,200 students when it opens in 2028. Many parents lobbied for years for the project, while some nearby residents opposed it, concerned about extra traffic and removal of green space. Some residents in the northwest community of Nolan Hill are raising concerns over the city's maintenance of its public spaces. After multiple complaints to the city went unanswered, a petition was launched calling for more action. So far, it has over 250 signatures. One of the main concerns is all the weeds, including foxtail, which left one resident with a $600 vet bill. Other concerns include grass clippings left on sidewalks and litter scattered on city property. The petition's organizer says their neighborhood is feeling neglected.
We want to get attention for us, for our neighborhood. We expect the city will come and do the proper job for our neighborhood.
Councillor Jennifer Wyness has met with residents. A meeting between the city and the community is set for Saturday. All right, Danielle, it's about a week away from the official start of fall, but it sure feels like summer out there right now.
You are correct. Fall officially begins on Monday, and well, it was 20 as our high yesterday in the city. Today's high 24, and tomorrow will be even warmer than that. And this comes with a whole bunch of sunshine. And, yes, there's another and. We have pretty good air quality. We're low risk on the Air Quality Health Index and will remain that way for the rest of the work week. Okay, 24 right now. Winds calm at the airport. And as you can see by that live shot there, just blue sky. All right, looking at those next 24 hours. Your 24-hour forecast is brought to you by Fifth Avenue Volkswagen, where you can win your ride. See dealer for details or visit fifthAvVW.com. And, yeah, I mean, if you could get almost a convertible to drive around for these next couple days. 12 degrees is the temperature in the morning. It's a bit of a chillier start. It is that time of year. And for tomorrow afternoon, you're looking at lots of sunshine again and a high of 26. Your full forecast is coming up.
Thanks, Danielle. Local researchers have published promising results about a brain procedure. One Calgary senior explains how it's given her life back. And some gardening experts dig in to dishing out. Also, if you have a news tip, text us at 10400. Members of a community garden in Airdrie are paying it forward. They're part of Grow to Give initiative, which will benefit the local food bank. Kevin Fleming explains.
She's harvested most of her garden, and Sue Methuen says it's been a bumper crop after plenty of rain and sunshine this summer. She's one of 124 plot holders at one of the Airdrie Horticultural Society's community gardens.
You always have more vegetables than you need. Sometimes you give them to neighbors, sometimes I give to the food bank. So the program here is amazing. It really is, you know, to have all this produce go, and I know the need is so important.
This year, the Society introduced its Grow to Give program, where gardeners can donate a portion of their produce to food insecure members of their community.
Most of them are donating to the food bank, whether it's one carrot or a package of seeds to grow them, one beet, a zucchini, and a few of our gardeners have donated their entire plot to the Airdrie Food Bank, which is just amazing.
Yvonne Ormison says so far this year, gardeners have donated more than 1,037 kilograms of produce to the food bank.
The quality of produce that we're getting from this program is just incredible. You know, there's some beautiful stuff over on the table that I'll bring back to the food bank after this, and you know, it's a 5-minute drive, 10-minute drive. You know, the stuff that gets pulled in the morning often gets distributed the same day.
Kent Scott is part of the reason this year's harvest is so bountiful. He started growing vegetables from seed in the winter and donated more than 2,000 plants in the spring.
Just happened to be this year that I had a whole bunch of extra plants, and then Yvonne reached out to me and was like, hey, I have this idea. And at first they wanted to buy them. I'm like, no, just take them away. Like, just take them. Just go and do what you need to do with them and help out the community.
The gardeners say this year was good for root crops, and they still have a lot of vegetables to donate to the Airdrie Food Bank. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Airdrie.
Okay, Danielle, those delicious vegetables make it look like fall, of course. Yes, hungry. But you said go get a convertible or something, because we had a lot of not so hot days this summer. So
yeah, wear the bright colors. It's still summer, and we have a lot of summer heat and a lot of stability coming up here. And hey, why not head to a driving range like these smart people here? Inglewood Golf Course. Things to do when it's this beautiful out. There's so many things, and this is going to continue for the rest of the work week. And in fact, the entire week, we'll just have a couple blips here and there, and I'll show you that in the long-range forecast. So at this point, yes, the high yesterday in the city was 20 degrees, and today's high so far 24 degrees, and tomorrow 26. So we're climbing a little bit each day here. Medicine Hat, though, was 27 yesterday, today 25, but overall it's still hot. We're still well above normal. We still have temperatures mainly in those mid-20s in southern Alberta. Okay. Nothing to talk about on radar and satellite. For now, we have a ridge of high pressure that has built its way in, and it will strengthen as we go through the next day or so. But where it will start to move its way out is later on Friday, and that will open us up to, well, some instability. Showers, thunderstorms, certainly possible on Friday, and we may not get quite as warm as well. I'm going to show you this in the hour by hour here. And for tomorrow, nothing but sun. For Thursday, we may notice some clouds increasing ahead of the system that will develop here on Friday. And so even in the morning hours in the city, we have the potential for some isolated showers, and then later in the day, some thunderstorm activity is possible as well. So Friday, a little unstable because we lose that protective ridge of high pressure. All right, looking at that longer range forecast, 26 for tomorrow, all sunshine. Again, we'll notice some clouds increasing ahead of the system for Thursday. So that's why we won't get quite as warm. Still a beautiful sunny day. It just may be a little breezy, and temperatures won't be quite as warm as tomorrow. Then 24 is our high on Friday. We'll have some sunny breaks, but also some cloud cover and the potential for showers in the morning and especially in the afternoon with the risk of thunderstorms. And then it's quiet again on Saturday, but we get up to 26 degrees. Sunday, we have showers and thunderstorm potential later in the day. And as you can see, the high won't be quite as high at 21. So looking at that 10-day trend, a normal daytime high for this time of year in the city is 17 degrees. We will be above normal for the next 10 days. In fact, as you can see here, we will be into the 20s for the next 10 days at least. So a lot of warmth, but of course the hotter temperatures are throughout this week.
Health Canada says a salmonella outbreak has been linked to dog food and treats. So far, 13 Albertans have become ill. The agency says a single common supplier of dog food or treats has not been identified. So far, 27 people in Canada have confirmed cases of salmonella. 6 have been hospitalized. Many reported handling kibble or dehydrated and freeze-dried dog treats prior to getting sick. Health Canada is reminding people to always wash your hands after handling dog food or petting your dog. Although your pet may not show signs of illness, they can still be infected and pass it on to you. University of Calgary researchers say a brain shunt procedure is restoring quality of life for some seniors. Jill Naus used to need a walker and had moved into an assisted living facility out of fears of falling. She'd been diagnosed with idiopathic normal pressure hydrocephalus, an excess of fluid in the brain. As part of a research study, a shunt was implanted in her brain to drain the excess fluid into her abdomen. Shortly after surgery, she moved into her own home and could take her dog on daily walks.
But once I had my shunt, I bought a car because I felt now I can drive again. I bought a condo, and I moved into the condo.
If they have this disease and you get to them before damage is permanent, you can reverse things.
Hamilton adds that shunts help prevent falls and incontinence. The study has now been published in the New England Journal of Medicine. Prices have increased again on some grocery items. Trips to the meat counter have gone up as Canada's inflation rises. We'll have details on the increase and where Alberta stands. Inflation rises again, but falls short of predictions. Joining me is Liana Washniak, investment advisor with the Popowich-Karmali Advisory Group. So, Liana, Canadian inflation is up, but less than many economists predicted.
That's right. We saw the headline number come in at about 1.9% in August. It's up a little bit, but not as much, as you mentioned, as economists were looking for. And that actually leaves some room open for the Bank of Canada as they go through this latest interest rate decision. Now, a few of the pieces when you broke apart the overall inflation number were quite interesting. We saw gasoline prices being the major impact on the less than expected inflation number that came out in this last report. But we're still seeing things like food prices still continue to remain fairly sticky, about 3.4% up overall year over year, with things like meat leading with about a 7.2% year over year jump in terms of pricing. Now, here in Alberta, we actually have the third lowest provincial inflation rate in the country, around 1.4%. But overall, we're seeing that number still around that 1.9 in terms of the overall country's inflation number. And that leaves the Bank of Canada open for a potential 25 basis point cut tomorrow. There's about a 93% chance that the market is predicting that they'll do that.
All right, we'll see what happens there. And in the U.S., shoppers are still buying despite tariffs. American retail sales grew in August.
That's right. And that one was quite interesting to see, actually, because we've seen a couple of months of declining sales, but we saw the August numbers pop back up by about 0.6%. Now, that one was particularly interesting. Now, some things are kind of back to school sales, so there's some shopping going on in terms of preparation for that, and as well as people trying to front run or get things in before the next round of tariffs potentially come into play. But overall, it still looks like demand has remained fairly solid, even once you strip out some of those extra potential additions to the overall buying. Now, this goes against some of the other economic data that we've seen, where we've seen a little bit weaker in terms of jobs and things like that in the U.S. The U.S. Fed is also making an interest rate decision over the next couple of days. They're going to announce that tomorrow, and markets also expecting to see some level of cut there as well.
Oh, lots to watch tomorrow. Thanks, Liana.
Thank you.
A new aviation program is helping students at SAIT take flight in an important behind-the-scenes role. The college is creating a new gas turbine technician certificate. SAIT is also teaming up with Lufthansa Technic Canada to provide scholarships to at least 10 students in each 32-student cohort. The scholarship includes tuition and a guaranteed job with the company. The one-year gas turbine technician program is slated to start in May. The province is making changes to its industrial carbon tax system that will allow major companies to invest in their own emissions reduction technology. Currently, Alberta's TIER program forces big emitters to buy credits or pay into a fund if they go over the province's carbon limit. Today's changes mean those companies can now instead invest that penalty money into their own on-site technology. The Premier believes it will create more competition in the market and allow big emitters a chance to innovate. Labor unrest continues in Alberta. Here's Ian White with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Alicia, the province is facing pressure from teachers and healthcare workers. The Alberta Union of Public Employees rallied outside the Peter Lougheed Hospital today in advance of formal mediation. Teachers are also set to strike next month. Coming up at 6, the Premier's response to the labor unrest. Also ahead, a Calgary man is amongst a team of 11 blind and visually impaired hikers preparing to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Join us at 6 for the full story about the world record attempt. Alicia?
Thanks, Ian. A group of women are volunteering their time to build affordable homes, and you may recognize some of the workers. Our own Tara Nelson, along with Jody Hughes and Gina Martin from Your Morning, are part of the Women Build Project. They're working with construction crew leaders to build 11 townhomes in Airdrie that will be matched with families in Calgary. Well, it feels like summer out there, so take the chance to get out and do something outside. Right now, it's 24 degrees and sunny. Danielle will be back with the details after the break. We were talking about how thankful we are that we can wear, you know, our summer clothes, short sleeve weather for sure, but not in the mornings so much. You still need some long sleeves, a jacket or a sweater.
Chilly starts for sure. It's that time of year, so there's less daylight minutes, you know. And actually, I can show you how many hours and minutes of daylight we get at this time. 12 hours, 35 minutes. So that's not bad just yet. But you know, our days are getting shorter, of course. Okay, 24 degrees current temperature and today's daytime high. Normal is 17. We will be above normal and at least 20 or above for the next 10 days. So we're nowhere near record breaking at 30.7, but hey, it's pretty toasty, and it's toasty for the rest of this week, especially tomorrow. That will be the hottest day of the next 10 days, 26 degrees for a high and nothing but sun. We will lose this ridge of high pressure pattern by Friday. So Thursday, we'll notice some clouds increasing as that starts to happen. And by Friday, even in the morning, we have a chance of showers, and we have a greater chance later in the day, and even the risk of a thunderstorm, high of 24 degrees. But back into those mid-20s or higher mid-20s anyway. 26 degrees for Saturday, 21 for Sunday, and for the first official day of fall on Monday, 23.
Thanks, Danielle. Yeah, it's hot out there, but not exactly tropical. That's why a pair of cockatoos are turning heads in Calgary parks. Their owner doesn't keep them caged or tethered. He lets them fly free. Enrique Esteban has been taking his two cockatoos, Bandito and Corky, out for walks almost 30 years. Bandito can only glide because of an old wing injury from before Esteban adopted her, but Corky soars above the trees. Sometimes they're gone for hours before returning to him. It's an unusual sight that always stops passersby in their tracks. Esteban says that his goal isn't to train them, it's to let them simply be birds.
You reassure them that you understand what they like. You reassure them that you understand something that you don't like. And when that happens, they bring you to their flock. Whenever you have a pet, never humanize your pet. Instead, animalize yourself.
Good advice. Esteban says he originally worried that the cockatoos would be attacked by other birds of prey, but says after decades of flying free, they've actually proven to him that they're capable of eluding predators. Well, thanks for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.